This episode is going to be entirely dedicated to shading. It will be an audio reading of this image and or guide created by Pangea47 on Discord. I was granted permission by them to use it. There are many instances of rolling shaded sprites not from the game. These can stand out and stick out like a sore thumb compared to the rest of the sprites in the game, and that is generally unpreferable unless you want to piss people off with the amount of trolling you're about to commence. You should follow the advices to look out for certain shading errors. Most sprites follow a basis of shading rules. Lighting comes from the top left of the screen, indicating that highlights, like Isaac's eyes, must come from that direction as well. Amount of shades depends on the size of the sprite. See item sprites, monster sprites, boss sprites, and boss portraits for reference. Anti-aliasing should be present in most likely some/most edges of the sprite and must be a shade lower than the one they are on. If they are an extra shade lower than the palette itself would count as having one more shade thanks to that anti-aliasing. 1. Pillow shading. Pillow shading is when the shading entirely surrounds the subject. It might not be preferred to use this as the lighting does not orient to the center but instead above, more precisely top left. 2. Pancake shading. Pancake shading is when the position of the lighting and shading are overextensively used. Makes the sprite look flat. Unless it is flat, refrain from using this as it deviates from normal sprites. 3. Barline shading. Barline shading is when the shading is flat itself and borders of multiple shades are straight. Using shading like this prohibit the sprite itself to take shape based off the shading and only base it onto the outline. Refrain from making straight lines on curved surfaces. 4. Dithering. Dithering is when pixels of the sprites are interchanged to give them the illusion of blending. Although it is not advised to do this for everyday small/medium sprites, chests, grid objects, and Mega Satan use dithering. 5. Overextensive shading. Overextensive shading is when shading is applied to unnecessary places. Unless the atmosphere is dark and gloomy, it is not preferred. Finally, 6. Mixels. Mixels is when several resolution contrast against each other. Make sure all pixels in the photo are equal size in the dimensions of the canvas, making each of them 1 by 1. Once again, I have to thank Pangea47 for letting me use this as a guide for this part. It's insanely useful and explanatory, and it really helps explaining all the different mistakes you might make when approaching shading. That's going to be it for this part. I know this was a shorter part, but it was just covering one very niche section of spriting. I'm not sure when the next part will be. It's the way things are going, it seems like once a month, maybe. I'd like to hear what you guys think the next part should be on, and I'll talk to you later.